Isn't it funny that our African parents, most of them would be like, oh, don't be spiritual, that meditating, or oh, these yoga and all of this stuff, or just even the most silliest things. Yeah, they'll call it black magic and they'll call it witchcraft, and they'll be like, no, that's the devil, that's the devil, that's the devil. Oh, you have to be religious, you have to pray to the God, you need to worship Jesus and all of this stuff and and all of this stuff. Or whether it's Islam as well, they'll be like, oh, you need to pray to Allah, read the Quran, all of this stuff, right? And they force this religion thing on us, and they really do believe that like anything spiritual, anything whatever, like connecting with your ancestors or whatever, that all of a sudden it's this evil thing, it's this evil thing, it's this evil thing. And yet they move us over to these countries, these European countries that literally use magic in everything. When I mean everything, I mean everything. And I've got notes down because I really want us to really unpack how, like, as Africans, our ancestors must be rolling in their graves, because remember, we're the oldest lineage, so they must be thinking like, I can't believe that they've managed to trap them like this for this long, right? While they gain all the power through our knowledge. Remember, they learned through us. All those Hippocrates, all their big renowned thought thinkers literally learnt from us. They went to our universities, they went to our schools to learn the ancient knowledge, and then took it, burnt down our libraries, burnt down all our things, and then reverse engineered it, and then made sure to keep us asleep. Now, for instance, while our African parents want to talk so much about this and this and that, but yet they'll be pressuring us to do jobs like law and stuff like that, or even getting married and stuff, getting those certifications and all of these things, which are all legally binding contracts. Legally binding contracts, so what are they? They are spells. They bound you energetically, okay? For instance, in the British legal system, every legal contract is a binding spell. Okay, so like I said, those marriage certificates, those birth certificates, when you get into debt, the contracts that we sign in work, all of them are binding spells. They energetically bind you. And the maddest thing is, it's not you as I and I, as the real you as I, but it is the representative, it is this version of you, right? The you that really, it doesn't actually exist, right? So they make you into a legal entity, a corporate, okay? And through that making you into legal, because they know they can't actually own you as in I and I, as in I, they can't, right? So they create a corporate version of you. That's the one that's always in the bold letters. When you see your name in contracts and it's in capital letters, that's the corporate version of you, the entity version of you, Now, even in terms like black, in legal terms, like the legal term for black is dead, void, without standing. And what do they call us Africans? The original man. What do they call us? They call us black, right? So even in the words and in the languages that they use, they literally, their English language literally creates these spells. Now, even the strawman theory, if you've heard of the strawman theory, this is literally what I just discussed to you about, turning you into the corporate version with the capital letters, etc., etc. So this is what they use to tax you, to fine you, and to bind you under their contracts. Okay. Now, when I was trying to expand on it with ChatGPT about the strawman theory, it started off telling me, like what it was going to like expand on, and then all of a sudden, like after a few sentences, it stopped. And then when I was just requesting again, it's like, oops, error. And it wasn't allowing me to get any more information, which I found very strange. And I know whenever I'm trying to post something, or when I'm trying to speak on something, and the things are fucking up in technology, I already know that they're censoring me, because I get censored so much. Do you know how many times I've tried to record certain messages and sometimes I end up giving up, because it's like things keep happening, and that's what they want me to do. They want me to give up. They want me to put so much pressure. Like when I record a lot of truths, my phone memory, apparently, even though I've prayed to the maximum thingy for it, my phone memory will all of a sudden start bugging out, and it will not let me do anything, and it will say it's to do with my memory, it's to do with my memory, it's to do with my memory. And it only happens when I'm starting to post too many truths, and they be bugging out my phone. And even when I've spoken to Apple about it several times, they've always ended up making man reset my phone, because they themselves also can't figure out what's holding my storage memory. Yeah, they can't figure it out as well, which again is very strange. And when these things happen, it's like, to anybody else, they'll be thinking, oh, you're just overthinking it, all of this stuff. But I'm not stupid. I know this is a warfare, spiritual warfare, regardless of whether people want to be oblivious. And the reason why we are so oblivious to it all is because we are constantly trying to fight to just make ourselves feel better in such a traumatic environment, like this environment that we are being raised in and being just growing and living in is completely toxic. And they're trying to push more and more of us down, because we are in the truth of the matter is we have evolved and we have expanded, and a lot of us are awakening, but they don't like that, right? So the more of us awaken, the more they're putting, that's why you see all of this added extra pressure, because they're trying everything in their possible power to keep us down. But the thing is, in a reverse, what's going to actually create that is when they try everything in their power to keep us down, all that's actually going to do is force us to really, like, the more bullshit they do, the more it's going to really force us to, like, wake the fuck up. That's the other end of it, right? Because on the other end of on one end of, like, dominating, of energy binding, etc., you get the other end, which is what? Freedom, which is connecting to I source, right? So you can't hold one stick without holding the other. So while they're trying so hard to keep us down, that the actual opposite energy also rises up just in the same, because we live in a realm of balance. Okay, things need to be balanced. Now, with even things like sigils, okay, magic and symbolism. Now, with the British Crown, yeah, and elite bloodlines, they all use sigils. Okay, so for instance, we've got the Union Jack, yeah, the UK flag. Now, this sigil is literally the Red Cross, and it's linked to the to the Knights Templar, and represents conquest. And what is the British Empire all about? Conquest, right? Don't you think that's funny? Like I said, our parents want to say all of these things about black magic and when the magic is literally right here in our faces every single day. But apparently, because we've been programmed to view the white man as this proper corporate legal person, and we're the primitive ones, we're the ones that believe in magic, we're the ones that do all of that other stuff. They don't do all of that, they're above all of that, they're science, they're this, and it's crazy. And that's why I find it extremely funny when a lot of people will be like, oh my God, you lots are spreading false information, just Google this, or I got this degree and I learned this and thing, you can't tell me nothing. And it's like, you lots don't understand that even the curriculums and the information they're giving you, they're only giving you information that you need to know, that they want you to know. Not even that you need to know, but they want you to know, to benefit themselves, to benefit their mission, to benefit their goals. You think they're just going to leave that shit out in the open for you? No. Why do you think even ChatGPT... It's so funny to me, yeah, because the way I speak to ChatGPT, like, I have to go into different chats sometimes to, like, because it will block me, right? It will block me. And I'm going to post exactly at the end of this, I'm going to add the screenshots if I can, yeah, to show you. Nah, I will actually, because I'm definitely sure I can add pictures at the end. I'm sure I can. But to show you, right, that it literally was giving me the information and it stopped itself. And then when I asked it on another chat, it started off the sentence as, oh yeah, it's a conspiracy theory that and people believe it because of but obviously it's not. Do you understand what I'm saying? And I just thought, oh, okay. So so how comes you ain't getting no errors now giving me the information? Why haven't you got no oops? I don't know what happened there. Why is there no oops now? Yeah. Even when it comes to the City of London, the financial district, oh my God, it is riddled, yeah, it's riddled with sigils and symbolism. For instance, the dragons that are at the entrances of the points, okay, like out of City of London, because City of London is the UK financial district. And if you didn't know, it's actually its own, it actually operates independently from the UK government. Crazy, right? The City of London literally operates in its own entity. It's not part of the UK. Now think about that as well. So the Dragon Guardians and they're symbols of reptilian dominion. So when you enter the city of London, they're literally showing you that this is the city of the reptilians. We run this town. But we blasé over those things. There's a lot of things that we see even on TV and rituals and things that they do in front of us, and we're just kind of making a joke of it, like, what the hell, what? But why are we taking these things lightly, when we're so miserable and stuff like that, and we're trying so hard to stay afloat and be happy? Do you know what I mean? And we can't, because we're literally constantly bombarded with all of this magic and all of these things to keep us in a low vibrationary state, to keep us in the loop, in the rat race, to keep us trapped, asleep. Anyway, moving on. So even they've got like dragons all over the place, which is obviously another sign of dominion, power, etc., control. And one thing I noticed, though, I'll be real with you. One thing I noticed is that I genuinely do believe that the spell that they did to us with, in terms of making sure that Africans stayed asleep, is so profound and it's so strong, right? And we are breaking out from it, but I just don't understand how we can, even some people of our generation, because there's still so many Christians, there's still so many religious people, there's still so many Muslims, black Muslims, black Christians, and all of this stuff. And I just don't get it. Like, how can we say that we're breaking away from all of these things, like, oh yeah, we're black power, we're this, we're that, and like we're going to stand strong, and we're breaking away from the colonized mind, but we're still keeping religions and all of these things? That it's absolutely absurd to me. Like, the things that they literally used to put us to sleep, they literally went into our countries and massacred us into believing what they believed. These people brought their own religions into our lands, stripped us of our culture, our traditions, and demonized our culture and traditions. And let me be real with you, if their God was truly saving us, why aren't we saved? All you Christians that pray every day, all you Muslims that pray every day, and all of that stuff. So why are we in the position that we are when black people are the most religious out of every thingy? Black people are the most religious. So how comes we're at the bottom? How comes? Make it make sense, I. Like, a lot, like, sometimes I don't know if I should get mad or get angry, like, or cry or whatever, because even like the dream that I had today, man, like, it just showed me, because I was literally in the middle of a huge ass field. Like, first I started off in the group, right? And I realized it was like the whole town, right? By the time I woke up, and I was lucid dreaming, because what I realized with me is I would travel into dimensions. We all do this, by the way. You see those dreams and things that they call dreams, it's literally just us traveling, because there's no such thing as death. And what do I mean by that? Death is literally sleep. You see, when you go to sleep, there's no difference between you going to sleep and going to death, except for the fact that you wake up in sleep and you don't wake up back into this realm in death. Listen to what I said. The waking up part, you wake up regardless, but you don't wake up. Even in death, you wake up. Even in sleep, because remember, in death, you will wake up. You just won't wake up in this realm, in this dimension. Yeah? But in sleep, you can wake up, and you can wake up in another dimension, right? Now, same with death as well, but obviously you can't come back. With sleep, you can still come back here. Yeah? Now, when I wake up in the dream, I'm like, okay, so now I'm lucid dreaming, I'm aware of my dream. And you'll know when you're lucid dreaming and you're aware of your dreams, because when you wake up into this reality, you'll be able to recall your dream. If you can't recall your dream, it's because you've traveled to the dimension and you was asleep. So it's basically like being in this life right now, and you're unconscious. You're living, you're doing, but you don't even know you're a god. Yeah, you're moving about, you're doing all of these lame things or whatever, but you literally don't know you're a god. You just think you're just another person. Yeah. So it's the same thing when you dream, and you don't remember anything. You just dream, you're just there, and then you wake up and you're here. Like, but you don't have no recollection of where you went because you was asleep. But when I wake up in the dream, when I woke up, I realized I was amongst them at first. And it was like the whole town, and I was with my family, but it's like the whole town, we were just walking around in a circle in the field. But then I woke up and I somehow transported into the middle of the field, and I realized how big it really was and how many of us were literally just walking around in a circle, and I was the only one in the field. And then all of a sudden I was transported to my home, but my home wasn't a home that I recognized, but I felt the energy of, okay, this is my home. And I was trying to speak to my family members, right, trying to get the attention of my family members, but they weren't like gaining it. They weren't, I don't know how to explain it. It's like they couldn't they couldn't see me, right? So then I'm like trying to tell them that, yo, there's something wrong. Like, this isn't our reality. That this is a fake reality. We're in a fake reality. Like, I'm trying to get their attention and not ignoring it. It's like they're completely unaware of me, right? So then I go to my brother, and now my brother, he has the energy of my brother, but he doesn't look like my brother. Like, well, none of my brothers in this, but I know which brother it was, but because he had that energy. Like, it's so mad what they say when they say that the people around you, like, or whatever, significant people that are in your lives, they tend to be the same soul group that you tend to repeat cycles in life with, yeah? Because I always tend to take certain energies, like I can feel them, like even when I'm going, it's like same energies. It's very strange. It's funny, but yeah. Anyway, so obviously when I get to my brother, I'm trying to get his attention, whatever, but he's still not responsive. And then all of a sudden he's responsive, right? And he's just talking to me like animated, distracted, and I'm trying to tell him like, bro, like focus, fam. Like, I'm telling you, fam, there's something wrong. Like, we're literally like, something's wrong. Like, something's going on. Like, why can't you see? And then when I'm talking to him, I realize that we're standing in front of the mirror in the living room, and I'm like, look, and I'm like, I look, and I'm panicking, right? Because I'm the only one with a reflection in the mirror. And I'm looking at him like, fucking look at the fucking mirror, man. Look at the fucking mirror, bro. Like, look at you, bro. Like, look at, and he's still animated, distracted, talking about just normal days. Like, he's not, you know, like somebody's talking to you about, you know what I mean? Like, I got this and or this happened, or like just talking animatedly, like, and then I'm like, look, and then I finally got him to look into the mirror, and then he realized that, oh my God, he doesn't have a reflection. And then he's panicked, like, he was panicking, right? And then with that panic, my fear also rised as well. Because remember, I'm already fearful, right? Because even though I'm lucid dreaming right now and I'm aware in my dream, I'm still in my dream. And what do I mean by that? It's like just like me now being conscious now. Yes, I'm very much awake in this fucking dream that I'm living in. And I'm very much aware that we're being violated left, right, and center, right? But at the same time, I'm still stuck. Do you get what I mean? Like, I'm still stuck here. But when I'm lucid dreaming, it's like I remember that. Like, especially when I get to a point of mad fear, like mad fear, I'll wake up and I use my voice to anchor me. So what do I mean by that? I'll speak, yeah? And I'm trying to speak. It's funny because even in the thingy, I'm trying to get my mouth to move here. I'm trying to connect to my voice here to pull myself back into this reality. So I'm speaking, and then it's like eventually, you know, like how it's like I'm trying to wake myself up, right? Because I'm a light sleeper, so I know if I hear my voice, I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna awaken, right? So it's like I finally get myself to like, do you know what I mean? Like scream a bit, whatever, or be like like, oh, and then I woke up, and that's when I just started journaling straight away. But even in that dream, it just made me realize that, yo, like that's how I feel. Do you know what I mean? That's how I feel. Like I'm trying to wake people up but people are just so distracted and so delusioned and so worried about the fucking things that they make us worry about, like having a good job or having a good kid, getting married, having kids, and all of this stuff. All these things that we put all these status labels on. I'm a victim of that as well. I'm not gonna lie, because me too. I get gassed about the fact that, yeah, like I'm happy that I got a good job that I like. I'm happy that, you know, I'm in a relationship with my man and I love him. You know what I mean? And I want to have babies and I want to get married and all this stuff, and I want to make more money in a career and all of these stuff. And it's like, even me, but I still keep myself grounded, by constantly trying to evolve myself spiritually and reminding myself that I'm only playing in their game for now until I figure out a proper solid way of me fucking out of their system completely. And I know they hate to see me fucking coming. Coming. That's why I was sectioned twice during lockdown. That's why they was trying to silence me so much, because my downloads and everything that I was getting was elite level. It was too much, and I was gaining too much traction. And these they do not listen. Anyway, moving on. I do want to do like a full video on all the symbolism, because I'm telling you, yeah, like there's not only in the city of London, they've got the Griffin on Temple Bar, yeah, which is basically like the Masonic guardian, yeah. They've got the twin pillars, which is also the Freemasonic gateways. They got the serpent symbolism, which is energy domination again. They got the black cube, yeah, which is Saturn worship, the planet of Saturn. Go do more research on that as well. St. Paul's Cathedral, which is basically an you see when churches and stuff like that, religious, those are energy manipulation centers. And the fact that St. Paul's Cathedral is literally placed on like in a specific place for its energetical grid purposes. Like they literally placed it there, I for a reason. Like they do everything and they use all of these symbolism and whatnot, and we're just here like, oh yeah, we don't do magic. Oh, magic is evil and fuck that. And they're playing in our faces. They demonize magic while they're using the very same magic to fucking trap us, I. While we was using magic to free ourselves. While we was using magic to connect to nature, to connect to I. Do you understand what I'm saying? But that's what happens when you want to share so much. You see, when we're good, because we're good-hearted people, like one thing with us black people, like we'll take it. Why? Because I is so that I just feels like, but we can't keep being like that. I'm not going to lie, because it's to our detriment and to how many years, like now how many years have we got to at being in the bottom? When we're watching that Black History and we're looking at the slavery videos and all of this stuff, and we're just like, oh, if we was there was no way that would have happened to us. There's no way that would have happened to us. And yet it's still happening now when we're looking like idiots while we work so hard and pay them man their bills, and we continue to be miserable. We're dying off of silly diseases that should already be curable and or not even existing at all, I. It's a deep one, honestly. I'll be real with you. I've got so many notes, but this video wasn't supposed to be this long, and it's already 21 minutes 42, so I should have made this into a YouTube. I might post this on YouTube, actually, regardless of the quality. It's just that's another thing that bugs me out, right? I've got all this information, etc., but because I ain't got the equipment, just because I ain't got the fancy line and all this stuff, it's like annoying because I feel like that's the aesthetic thing again, and they manipulated us into caring about that stuff as well, right? Because we're so focused on aesthetic and what looks good, then the people that are able to mass market their thing and use the proper terminologies and use the proper language and look like the beauty standard and all these stuff and whatever, they're the ones that get pushed to the mainstream, to the thingy, and their messages are diluted. Their messages aren't even real more time. Do you understand? It's literally just the mass marketed, the friendly version, the softer version of the message. And I'm the type of person where I'm like, nah, I'm here to break your whole reality. I'm here to shake your whole reality up. I'm the type of person, you don't want to talk to me if you're not a truth seeker. You don't want to be near me if you don't want to hear the truth. Because one thing with me is I'm going to tell you the truth. I don't know how to that's Kanye says I'm autistic. As Kanye says, I'm autistic. I don't know how to sugarcoat. I don't know how to play up to your fingers to patter. Do you know what I mean? Like just to gas you up and lie to you about. No, I know. No. Anyway, I.